this meeting is being recorded. I didn't even know it did that now. Did you get that alert? Did it say that to you? It said that? Wow. That's how long it's been since I've actually recorded something on Zoom. It's been like my goodness, like a year since we were like doing Zoom and I was like recording everything. I was so ambitious when we were like, we're starting the whole Zoom thing. I'm like, look, we're gonna start recording every single session. We're gonna write it down. We're gonna transcribe it. We're gonna get it up on YouTube. We're gonna put all this stuff out there. Like, no way I could balance that with everything else. No way. Oh my gosh. And my computer is just like bogged down by all of the like huge files of video and audio from all these meetings from 2020, which were just goodness. They were just terrible looking back now, but we did, and we made it through.
We made it.
So we made it. And it's thanks to people like you who stuck it out and who were with us, who actually weren't even from around here. And so I think that's actually, so Jessie, I think that's a really cool way to introduce you. So please, Jessie, introduce yourself to everyone who's watching and who's listening to you.
Oh, sorry, hold on. Okay. I am Jessie, and I live in Connecticut. I am friends with Matt's beautiful wife, Lynn. We actually met in an online support group for people who have gone through infertility. So I've known Lynn for about 4 years, I think. And so I've been friends with her online for a while, and I knew obviously that you guys own a gym and she's been a big part of it. And I followed her journey with getting her certification and focusing on her pre and postnatal training specialty. And so last fall, I had decided that, I guess back up a little bit. So back in 2016, my husband and I were going through infertility treatments and everything. Prior to that, I had really started to take an interest in weightlifting. My husband played college football. So he, we would go to the gym together. He started teaching me, how to do like a basic, like a Romanian deadlift, some basic benching, stuff like that. And I really started to take an interest in it. And then we started going through the whole infertility process. Unfortunately, we had a loss. Then I did get pregnant with my living son. And so before you know it, it's like 3 years later. And during that time, I really didn't have much for me, being a mom, working full time. I work for a commercial property management company, having a house. I do.
A commercial property management company.
Manage office buildings.
So okay.
We'll see what happens to us. But I just really didn't have anything for me. And physically, I was feeling pretty terrible. And I'll get to this, I try not to focus on weight anymore, but the pandemic, I had put on some weight. But overall, I just felt terrible. I felt tired. I felt sore. My body always hurt. I had no stamina and I just felt terrible. So when Lynn had said that you guys were doing virtual clients due to COVID, I thought, you know what? Let's just sign up. Let's just sign up with Lynn. I thought maybe, I'll do some personal training sessions with her, start to maybe put together a routine for myself. And then she said, well, you can actually join the classes because like they're on Zoom. So I said, you know what? Great. I'll try this. I said, I will give it 3 months, right? Because I think my first initial sign up with you guys was for 3 months.
Yeah, so I'll give it three. This was when, like timeline.
November 2020.
Okay, November 2020.
So I did my first initial assessment with Lynn. And I was like, oh dear. And God bless her, because she just took very quiet notes and didn't really, but she was like, okay, now we have your baseline.
Yeah, right.
And then I remember my first class was with Nick. And even just, I'm in Connecticut and there were people from Pennsylvania on Zoom. There were people from Pennsylvania in the gym. And I felt very welcomed by everybody, even though I'm in a totally different state looking at these people on my iPad in my garage. And so I got through the first class and I was like, all right, I actually might die, but that was pretty fun. Uh, and so I kept at it, you know, and kept in, and what I loved so much about my first sort of week with Bent on Better was how all of you, all the coaches reached out to me personally to be like, welcome, we're so excited you're here. Do you have any questions? You're going to kill it. We're here for you. And we're so glad that you're here. And that was really nice. From people that, I mean, I'd met you and Lynn a couple of times, but I'd never met Nick or Alysha, and just for them to welcome me like that was really nice. That's not something you get from another gym.
So when you were starting, what were some of the big hurdles that you were dealing with as a mom and as full-time someone who was working, and also with your side hustle? Like, what do we want to call it? What's that? What's the side hustle? What's that? Want to give a little plug there?
I run an Instagram account about having alopecia. So I have a form of alopecia, and I wear wigs. And so 3 years ago, I started an Instagram account about that to connect with other people who have hair loss, offer advice, that kind of thing. So I do sort of run that on the side a little bit. And, I have some other side hustles, starting a nonprofit, and just trying to sleep once in a while, which is
Rare.
easier said than done.
Yeah, right.
But I really didn't have a lot of things that were I didn't have anything that was just for me. It's hard to remember that once you have a child, especially, that you are a whole person and you need to fill your own cup. Otherwise you can't take care of anyone else. So that was another thing, is that, I was excited to get back into strength training. One, because it's not cardio. Like, the thought of running on a treadmill for an hour, no. But
just being straightforward, no,
unless a bear is chasing, and even then, it depends. The thing I love about strength training is that it's so different all the time. You really can change it up a lot, and that's my problem with keeping up with a fitness routine, is that I get bored, right? Especially going to the gym by myself. If I'm just kind of wandering around looking at stuff and like, oh, I guess I'll do that now, I guess I'll do that. If you don't have a program, or you don't have, the guided classes like that, it's really difficult to sort of keep yourself motivated, because you really don't have any idea what you're doing. And then another thing that, was really appealing to me about working with you guys virtually is that I'm really lazy. And I paid for a gym membership for years and never set foot in the building. I paid their electric bill.
Wow.
Because I like to work out first thing in the morning. If I wait till at the end of the day, forget it. I'm beat. I won't do it. So, but to get up at 5 o'clock, drag myself out of bed, drive across the gym, go, the whole thing, and then come back home, shower, whatever. It's too many steps. And, I won't do it. And I didn't do it. So being able to just sort of roll out of bed, throw my workout clothes, back my car out of the garage, and be there is perfect for me. So
you're backing your car out of your garage every time you're going in there to work out?
Yes.
Wow, that is commitment, Jessie. That's commitment.
If I went to the gym, I'd back it out anyway, because I'd have to drive.
That's so true, and that's something that's real. I mean, you're up in Connecticut, so I imagine your winters are pretty cold up there. So you got to go outside, I guess, regardless. But it's a shorter distance of having to walk to and from the gym.
That is the other thing, is that, my garage is pretty cold this winter, but I am a sweaty person. So but there were some days where I had to bring the space heater out and try to warm up it. But I would take that over summer, because there have been days now where it's like 95 degrees in there and I'm just yuck. But where were we?
Well, we're talking about the challenges that you had in like just getting started, and how you paying for the electricity at the other gym for so long, and now you decided to work out at home. So, but what were some of the things that you were dealing with when you were first getting started, when even though you had that interest in strength training and you were working on it before having a kid and having all the other things that you're dealing with right now with the Instagram and with starting a nonprofit, all the different things? What were those big hurdles at the beginning that now you look back and you're just like, man, look how far I've come?
A big one was, I was out of shape. I literally my whole life could not squat. Um, Partly because I didn't know the proper way to squat for my body type, in my body shape. I learned that your hips and your femurs have a lot to do with how well you squat in certain positions. Um, and then, the other thing was we didn't have any equipment. We had nothing. I had ordered online a pair of 10-pound dumbbells, a 10-pound kettlebell, and some bands. Like that was what I started with, which honestly was fine. It was enough. And one of the things that's so great is that, Nick or Lynn, whoever, they will modify, the workout for whatever equipment you have, whatever your strengths are, whatever your limitations are. So I didn't feel like I wasn't prepared as far as equipment goes, but that's what I had to start with. And then, like I said, my husband, he played college football. He's always been really into working out. He didn't just pay the electric bill. He went to the gym in the morning. But he was like, oh, you're working out. And so we kind of started accumulating more and more equipment. And now, we have a barbell and a squat rack and adjustable dumbbells, big kettlebells. Yeah, all of it. Painted the wall.
Yeah, you got the whole hookup there. And and so what do you call your home gym now?
I call it the kind of fit, kind of fat. is a company, it's a clothing company that we love. We have one of their big banners on the wall. So I call it the Connecticut branch of Bent on Better, brought to you by Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat.
Love it. And when this comes out live and this is out there, let's make sure we tag up Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat so that they can come sponsor the show. We can get some more banners and some more goodies over here for us and for you guys out there in Connecticut. What, say again?
I said, send me free stuff.
Right? Yeah, send us all free stuff. That would be wonderful. We'll totally throw you up on our Instagram. We'll get it out there. Kind of Fit, Kind of Fat. Hook us up. UOB, collab. Let's do it. Yeah. But so UOB. Jessie, like, what is your, what would you say is like your biggest win that like over just the past few weeks, few months maybe, that you have seen the most progress? Like, I know I've seen it, but I want to hear from you. Some of the big changes that you've seen and felt in your physical everyday life, in your, let's say like back when you took that trip, you said you took that trip to the beach. Tell me about the beach trip.
So, yes, the way my body looks has changed, but what has changed more is my whole mindset about all of this. Diet culture is so pervasive and it's really hard to disengage from that. And it's something I still am working on, but I'm getting there. I decided that I am going to exercise and lift weights because I want to be strong. And I'm going to eat foods that both fuel my body and fuel my soul, because brownies fuel my soul and I will not give them up. And I'm going to do those things and my body is going to do what it's going to do. Right. I don't weigh myself. I don't measure myself. That was not the goal for me. And when you remove the goal of intentional weight loss from your fitness routine, it makes it so much more enjoyable and so much more, the longevity is there really, because you're not constantly worrying about, am I doing enough? If I skip a day, am I going to beat myself up over this because now I'm not going to lose weight as fast? If I skip a day, I skip a day. It means I needed a rest. It's not a big deal. I'm not here to do anything except, get muscles and feel good. And I do feel good. Since I've started working out with you guys, my lower back pain is gone. I am so much more flexible. I have better mobility. I can get up off the floor after playing with my son and not have to like crawl to a piece of furniture and pull myself up. I can squat. I could squat. My big goal for this year was to deadlift 200 pounds before the end of the year, and I did it 6 months early.
Yay, Jessie! High
So
fives, high fives, high fives.
not pretty, but I did it. um, and now I really, I have knowledge and skills to be able to improve on that and know that, okay, if I can't lift 200 pounds 2 times in a row, no big deal. We'll dial it back. We'll build up the strength and we'll try again later. There's really there's no rush, right? There's no real end goal in sight other than maintaining how good I feel. And I've told you this, my mother is a retired physical therapist, and I didn't see her from before I started working out with you guys until May of this year. So it would have been 6 months that I was working out with you before she saw me again. And she said to me, your posture is the best I have ever seen it in your whole life.
Wow, in your whole life.
My whole life. Because I tend to suffer from sitting at a desk all day shoulder syndrome. And my core was just mush. It was absolute mush. And it always has been. So, I feel strong. I feel good. Like you were saying about the beach trip, we went to the Jersey Shore for a week, and this is the first summer in a long time that I am not constantly worrying about how I look in my bathing suit. And again, this doesn't really have so much to do with the fact that I look different, but my mindset is different, right? Like, sure, I have my jiggly bits, and I've got my mommy pooch, and it's fine, because those things don't take away from how strong I am now, and how good I feel just existing in my own body. And it's always a work in progress because diet culture, but I feel amazing. I feel amazing.
You look amazing. And I've seen the pictures. I've seen the transformation. I am in the day-to-day, even though I don't necessarily get to see you in the day-to-day with it. I hear it day-to-day from Nick and from Lynn, especially from Lynn, because she's been since like day one. It's like day one, ride or die with you guys. And I think it's so cool that the little things that you've kept track of, for example, your squat depth and like the internal rotation, like of your feet, and like where you're positioning your knees and where you're positioning your feet, and how stronger you are in that position. All those little things that people overlook in their fitness journey because of diet culture, because of these high-end goals they have to hit from whatever external influences they're getting. You set the bar as Jessie's bar, and you compare the bar only to Jessie's bar. And that's what I admire of the many things that I admire. That's one of the ones that I really wanted to highlight here, is that you set the bar for you. And the only bar that you're comparing it to is you. And that is the best part about your fitness journey. And that's what I hope more people can take from this, is that the bar doesn't have to be set based on anyone else's expectation or anyone else's bar for that matter. You can make a bar out of metal. You can make a bar out of plastic. You can make a bar out of sand in a tube. Brownies. Yeah. You can do it all. But it's just a matter of keeping track and progress of your own journey, and maintaining that progress is still progress. And that's my big takeaway. So right on, Jessie.
Well, that's huge, right? Is saying, okay, I don't squat like that person does, but I don't have to squat like that person does. Or, I remember asking Lynn, like, it's been so hot in my garage, my hands are all sweaty, and I'm like, can I use straps to lift the barbell, or is that cheating? And then I'm like, I'm not going to the Olympics. Like, who cares? Who cares?
Right.
This is not about, rules. The only rule is to, be safe, right? Like, I'm not, proper form and all that is important. But the only other rule is to do the things that make me feel good. And so, yeah, to really remove all of that outside expectation, which isn't even really so much outside expectation as it is my own expectations. on myself. To be able to remove that has been incredible. You know, I tell people all the time that working out without the goal of intentional weight loss is so much more fun.
I love it. And I think there's another key here that we're overlooking is not necessarily like, yes, of course, like I'm going to do a little plug here. Like, yes, Bent on Better. Like we are here, we're coaching, we do virtual coaching, we do in-person coaching here in the Westchester area. So you don't have to live in Westchester to work with us. You can work with us online. You can work with us real time virtually, or you can also work with us as our on-demand platform, which is all pre-recorded content. That is us taking you through the step-by-step movements of what we're doing for each program that's delivered to you every single week. There, Bent on Better, go to bentonbetter.com, check us out there. But I'll make sure I put that plug in. But I think it's also important to note that although you've made so many strides and so much progress, you've never lost sight of understanding that there are other people who have higher expectations for you and guide you to that path. So even though you're setting your own bar and you've made all the progress you've made, you know that it's still important to do your check-ins with Lynn. Like you guys check in. How often do you usually work with Lynn as a one-on-one? Like how often do you guys usually work out?
We do every other week.
Every other week. So that in itself is enough for you to just get that check. It's that quick check of, is my form correct? Not only will we do that in our real-time coaching, but it's that one-on-one approach that I think has allowed you to level up beyond anyone else who would just be doing the normal in-person or the normal virtual option. Because although we do pride ourselves on that personalized small group, personalized attention, it's still in a small group. So you're sharing that attention with other people. But you have taken it that next level of going every other week, doing that check-in with Lynn, working on the things in the areas that you know need coaching, need improvement, whether it's mobility, whether it's strength, it's a combination of those things. That's something that I also admire, and I think it's important to bring to the story and bring up in this conversation.
And I love how, you know, Lynn's focus on pre and postnatal fitness, you know, is really important to me. After I had my son, I had to go to pelvic floor physical therapy, which everyone who's birthed a child should do. But you know, taking the progress that I made in physical therapy and having to maintain that in my regular life, it is a lot easier working with Lynn, taking her Saturday class, knowing how to properly care for my pelvic floor, not only with lifting heavy weights, but just everyday life. You know, last week, my brother-in-law took my niece and my son, we went to a trampoline park. And nobody pants. No pants. But I was like, you know, this is huge that I can do these things and I can, you know, I can sneeze and I can lift heavy packages and know how to properly brace my core and you know, take care of my pelvic floor. I think that her focus on that is an extra something that, you know, you wouldn't necessarily get from another fitness place, right? Nobody really talks about your pelvic floor, even though it's so incredibly important. Especially, you know, especially after you've been pregnant and birthed a child. You know, we all have to take very good care of our pelvic floors.
Yeah, and that goes for men and women. We all have pelvic floors, and bracing it. Yes, we all have pelvic floors, and it's important to not only understand bracing, but understand controlling and breathing that goes along with bracing. And like, who doesn't like to have dry pants, right? Like, no one wants to pee their pants.
No, but
whether you're sneezing, whether you're jumping.
Is you know, newly potty trained, so he should be the only one peeing his pants right now.
Right. Yes. Oh, Jessie, well, like I'm loving this conversation. I think there are so many more nuggets that we can give to the people who listen and who watch this when they watch it. But like, give me some powerful words, because we've covered a lot, but I know you have so much more that you can give. And I know you have to run soon, but I know that there's still a little more I want to cover with you, especially in terms of like understanding the balance of life and understanding and like how strength training can be a component, and also eating, as you said, eating brownies and lifting weights can be a thing, and they work together. So tell me about your thoughts there.
I mean, like you said, it really is all about balance. Like there's no reason other than, you know, diet culture and the patriarchy that we should have to put ourselves through restricting the things that we truly enjoy. Should you eat brownies all day, every day? No. Should you eat broccoli all day, every day? No. And there are days where I go out in my garage and I lift weights for an hour and a half and I'm just really crushing it. And there are days that I lie on the couch because that's what my body wants. And it really, you can have both. And it really is about finding that balance. And when you do, I can't even, I have trouble putting into words just how much my life has improved now that I have learned, and I'm still learning, how to balance those things and not feel so much like it has to be all or nothing. I don't have to count calories and obsessively work out and live that way. I can, and I don't have to, get on a treadmill and do cardio like crazy. I don't have to exercise in ways that I don't enjoy. Like there's no need for me to do that. So finding the activities that you do enjoy doing, for me is lifting weights, walking, hiking, that sort of thing. And also sometimes just lying around and eating Doritos.
Yeah. Oh, another plug there. Doritos sponsor this show. That'd be
Dorito.
wonderful. I would love to have some Doritos.
Yeah. Brought to you by Doritos and brownies. Flowers.
Yes. Well, and but that's
flowers for us.
What's that?
I said, do you think Fresh April Flowers will sponsor us?
Oh, totally. They already do. Like that's already part. I should throw a plug over here right now. Like, boop. Check out freshaprilflowers.com. Flowers like the ingredient.com. Flowers like the ingredient.com. There you go.
Yes.
She can pay me later in kisses. So I think that you hit on, oh my gosh, there's so many things that while you were talking, I didn't want to interrupt because of the connection, but also because of how good you were going with it. But why don't we do like this? Give me a piece of like, just go all out Jessie style. Give me some fire. Let's keep it PG though. But give me some fire of like how we can just round off anyone who's watching this or listening to this, who's thinking, you know what? I can relate to Jessie. I can relate to that story. I'm a mom with a young one. I'm doing all these different things. I don't even get back to it. The pandemic has treated me such a way. I do enjoy brownies. Give me some fire. Give me some stuff. Give it to us straight, and let's go from there.
Well, it's a lot of pressure. So I'm kind of like, if I can do this, anyone can, because I am. So I have ADHD, and so that makes me have trouble initiating things that I don't think I want to do, and I have trouble staying motivated. And the fact that I've been able to, I just hit my 100th workout with you guys. I'm still waiting for my t-shirt. But so it's been what, 8 months now that I've been working with you. I really believe that this is the longest that I have kept up with a workout routine and been what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent with it. This is the longest I've consistently worked out in my entire life, right? And I'm 36 years old. So I really, it's just such a perfect combination of things, right? Like the workouts and the trainers, the support, the fun, right? You guys have so much fun with all of your silly stuff. I had only been working out with you guys for a couple of weeks when I came to your virtual Christmas party. You gave me an award. Like, I'm like, this is so much fun. And again, when you can bring fun into it, it does make it more sustainable. And turns it as, from something that, oh God, this is going to sound so cliche and stupid, but it's really turned fitness and working out into from something that I have to do into something that I want to do. And along those lines, I do give myself permission to not do it on the days where I'm not feeling it. If I wake up and go, you know what, I don't want to, then I give myself permission to not do it. And it's no big deal. The world doesn't end. We just pick up and keep going on another day. And that really, for more lasting habits.
I love that, Jessie, that you gave yourself the permission to take the time off. And I think that needs to be said again. You gave yourself the permission when you weren't feeling like it to take time off. And the kicker there is that you didn't give up. You got back to it, and you didn't feel guilty getting back to it. You didn't feel guilty giving yourself, you gave yourself the permission to do it. And the most beautiful part of that is you have, in saying that, you have brought more power now to your body and understanding that your body and your mind have a connection. And when you talk things, when you talk about things and when you think things, those things happen. So when you tell yourself it's okay to take a break, when you tell yourself it's okay to take time off, you also are telling yourself, I'm enjoying what I'm doing because I'm working that hard to give myself that okay to take time off. And you're not just pushing all the time until you fail. That is huge. That's a huge, huge mental leap. And I wish, even me, I own a freaking gym. I own a gym and I work out consistently, and I have that consistency in my life because I've made it part of my life. But if you knew me just 10 years ago when I was very avid in fitness, I was the kind of person who needed to be working out for 1.5 to 2 hours a day, 6 days a week. And if I took a day off, I felt so guilty. Felt
And
so
what's the fun?
guilty. Right?
And it's like, for what, right? Who do I have anything to prove to?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody.
Nobody. Just for me.
You know what?
For
I
me.
can pick up my kid when my kid refuses to walk the last half mile of the hike. I can pick him up and I can carry him uphill. I can do it. And that's what I have to prove, right? Functional fitness, just being able to do the things I love to do with a strong and healthy body.
Oh, that's so good,
And
Jessie. Wait, and what?
And a belly full of brownies.
And a belly full of brownies. That's how we'll end it. That's how we'll end the show. That's so good. That was awesome. I mean, you hit so many great points, and of course, I want to give you an opportunity. If people wanted to connect with you, if people want to find a way to connect with you, just to hear more about your journey or to feel the inspiration that you share, because you're sharing almost on a daily basis about your journey with fitness. And just today, you had that time lapse up of you going back and forth from, I think, the TRX to the deadlifts and going back and forth all around there. You're putting in the work, mama, and I love it. So do you want to have people find you? Want to have people connect with you? What do you want to do?
If you are interested in seeing my fitness as well as my bald head, you can find me on Instagram at polycystic, POLYCYSTIC _coiffure, COIFU. Crap, I don't remember how to spell it.
Well, I'll make sure I tag it up in the post.
No, it's at polycystic _coiffure. Oh my God.
Is that how you say it? I was saying it wrong the whole time.
Coiffure, yeah, it's French. It means hairstyle. And polycystic is polycystic ovaries. So that's why my hair fell out, just so you know.
That's it. Well, I know that because of
Lynn. I feel like there's 2 F's. Oh dear.
Oh, that's so good. I'll make sure it's linked up. No worries. That way people, if they want to connect with you, they can connect with you. And if you don't want to connect with them, you can always just block them. So that's fine too. But
yeah, just don't be creepy, and then you can follow me. Fine.
There you go. Words of advice for any following. That's a good advice to live by. If you're gonna follow anybody on social media, just don't be creepy.
Or just in life. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. In life too. Awesome, Jessie. This is great. Thank you so much for hopping on here and chatting with me. I really appreciate all the time. Appreciate you being a BOB fan member. Everything, the support over the past 8 months plus. And I'm excited to see where you go from here. So thank you so much, Jessie.
Send me my t-shirt.
It's in the mail. Don't worry. It'll be in the mail. It's in the mail. We're good. It's coming. It's coming.
Okay.
All right. I will talk to you later. I'm going to